Guys, it's finally happened. Aaron Rodgers is done playing footsies with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He finally signed with them. And I gotta say, I have a lot to say about this. In fact, you would think after months and months of possibly going or not going, that I would have got all my thoughts out. But now that this is becoming actually official, I am ready to roast the ever-living shit out of Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers organization right now. So if you like this kind of content, subscribe. And let's jump right into it. This is not an angry rant. This is just what I consider a righteous telling of the truth. The truth of the matter is this. Aaron Rodgers is a diva. Aaron Rodgers is a selfish prick who needs to retire from the National Football League once and for all. I have been right about this man for so long. It was 15 long years ago he won a Super Bowl. It was Super Bowl 45. We're getting ready to do Super Bowl 60 for this upcoming season. He's cooked, he's washed, he's done. And I knew it years ago. Years ago. And we will go over all of that. But let me say this for the Steelers organization. You aren't getting much better than Mason Rudolph with this version of Aaron Rodgers. This is a man that has long stopped caring about winning. This is a man that only cares about himself. You may have gotten a bargain. I think it's 1 year, $10 million. You should have told him, bro, just stay on the sideline. Stay done. We don't need you. Mike Tomlin has had a winning season every single year he's coached for nearly 20 years. Mark my words, or may God strike me dead, the Pittsburgh Steelers will not have a winning record this season. I guarantee you that. This is the year they will not do it. I've seen Mike Tomlin turn chicken shit into chicken salad. And everybody who thinks the Steelers are a legitimate contender, they are a legitimate contender. A legitimate contender to be the number 1 overall pick this upcoming season. And Arch Manning gets drafted there. I'm not joking. They may finish last in they will finish last in their division, even below the Cleveland Browns. I don't guarantee that, but I do guarantee you they will finally have a losing fucking record. They're not making the playoffs. They are simply not going to. Aaron Rodgers is not good enough. And it's mostly not good enough here in his mind. Not good enough as a teammate. He doesn't have it here in his heart anymore. He's just doing it because he has nothing else. Because his family doesn't love him, and Packer Nation doesn't love him anymore either. Sorry to get so personal, but it's the truth. Look up his relationship with his family. It's not very good. No children in his early 40s. No wife, no life. No real friends. This guy is a vapid, vain human being on every level. I watched that entire documentary of Enigma about him on Netflix, hoping and thinking I would see something in him that I didn't see before. If anything, it made him look worse. If he thought that was his best foot forward, he had another thing coming. That being said, I'm glad he signed with the Steelers, and I'm glad he's still in the league, because we could talk about it, and I could sit, laugh, and smile while I watch the disaster of a powder keg go off this NFL season. Watch and see. Jets will win more games than the Steelers this year with Justin Fields. Book it. Book it. So, anyway, so here's this history of Aaron Rodgers. He wins the Super Bowl, has a road wild card team like 15 years ago, actually beating the Steelers, ironically, in that Super Bowl, to prevent the Steelers from kind of becoming a dynasty, going for the third title in 5 years. But then after that, it all goes downhill from there. The next season, he was the MVP of the league. 15-1. And he shit a brick and lost to the New York Giants. 37-20. Your MVP. He went 26 of 46 passing that day. He had a quarterback rating of 78.5. I got the stats in front of me for his playoff log. We're going to go through his playoff resume. Because at the end of the day, when you're one of the greats of the greats, and I still think he's the top 5 all-time QB, despite all the bad things I just said. But this is a man that should be past at least Peyton Manning if he just had a better playoff run. Peyton Manning's playoff run wasn't great either. It was mediocre at best. But Aaron Rodgers has a pretty shoddy playoff run. If it wasn't for the Super Bowl win, he'd be below Marino's playoff runs. Marino, Rodgers, Manning all had lukewarm playoff runs compared to their regular seasons. But Rodgers really had some really bad letdowns, man. So, we go to his 2013 season playoff run. He beats the Minnesota Vikings 24-10. He beat Joe Webb that day, a wide receiver playing quarterback, 24-10. And of course, he lost to San Francisco. I mean, that's a theme, right? He loses them all the time. The following year, this is a game where he lost to the Seahawks, a game that he totally blew, where they had a lead big late. This ended up being Seahawks winning, going to Super Bowl 49, facing the Patriots. Well, Aaron Rodgers blew that game, 20-23. He only had 177 yards and yeah, he didn't really do very much that game. And speaking of Tom Brady, by the way, when he made his decision to go to Tampa, he did it like the day free agency started, like a professional would. Aaron Rodgers needed a fucking darkness retreat before he went to the Jets. And then with the Steelers, he needed to sit on it for literally 5 months. Go fuck yourself. And then he wants all the attention on himself. But what day does he pick? What day does he pick to reveal that he's going to the Steelers? The same day the Nintendo Switch 2 is coming out. Hey, bozo, other shit's going on. Elon Musk and Trump are fighting on Twitter, apparently. There's a lot of shit happening. You picked a really bad day for this announcement to be all about you, like you would like. You even fail at that. The following year after that, he lost to San Francisco again, throwing for it was a 177-yard game, 17 out of 26. Then he loses to Dallas. No, he beats Dallas. That was the Dez Caudic game. But then he loses again to Seattle. He beats Arizona in another playoff game. No, he beats Washington. Then he loses to Arizona in overtime. Now, he did beat, there was a playoff game he played against the Giants. He won 38-13. That was the game where Odell Beckham and the receivers all went down to Miami to get ready to go play in the frozen tundra of Green Bay. Like crazy people. Like dumbasses. So he won that. He beat the Cowboys. That was a really weird game where Mason Crosby hit field goals that would go this way and then come back this way and barely go over the crossbar. But he was so bad. NFC Championship games, he's like 1-4 in NFC Championship games. I know one guy he beat in the only NFC Championship game he won. He beat the Bears, and he was facing off against Caleb Haney because Jay Cutler was hurt. He got blown out by San Francisco again, 37-20 in one of the NFC Championship games. Oh, and don't forget that time that he lost to Tom Brady in the NFC Championship game, 31-26. He on 3rd and goal could have ran it in for a touchdown, try to throw it instead. And the coach said, I've seen enough. Let's kick the field goal. I trust my defense to stop Tom Brady more than I trust Aaron Rodgers to get 10 yards and a 2-point conversion. That's wild. And Matt LaFleur is not a stupid guy. And then his very last playoff game, he goes out with a total whimper. His last playoff game was January of 2022. We are in June of 2025. He's not getting any better. His last playoff game, he lost to the 49ers 13-10 in the snow. A team from California went into the snow and kicked his ass, and San Francisco's beaten him like 4 times in the playoffs. Bad. Awful. Pathetic. But again, the overall numbers don't look bad. 45 touchdowns, only 13 picks, 100 passer rating. But it doesn't tell the story. If you actually look at Aaron Rodgers' stats for this year, if you just look at the stats and nothing else, he has like similar stats to Patrick Mahomes last season, or even Josh Allen, who won the MVP. But when you go game by game, it's just failure after failure after failure, failure to do anything late in a game. The man is not clutch. He does not have the clutch gene whatsoever. And you got to think, his last year in Green Bay couldn't even get him to the playoffs. He looked like a mediocre quarterback then. What does he do? He goes to the Jets. He's hurt, immediately hurt. So that everybody makes the excuse, well, what could the Jets have been if he was healthy? What could they have been? Let me tell you what they could have been. They were worse when he was healthy. They were worse when he was available. They were so bad the Jets said, you know what? We'll take Justin Fields. And Justin Fields was the backup for the Steelers last year. And the Steelers are like, we'll take your Aaron Rodgers. Well, somebody, probably both of them, are going to be dead fucking wrong this season. And they play each other week 1. So have fun with that. We're also going to see Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers take on the Packers and take on the Bears. I'm excited for that for television reasons and for Rodgers being in Madden 26. Hopefully they patch him in on time. He took so long. I'm excited this move happened. And if they're actually somewhat good throughout the year somehow, that makes it exciting. It makes it exciting. No matter what happens, it's exciting. If they're a disaster, it's exciting. If they're great, it's exciting. If they're mediocre or middling, it's exciting. So fine, go sign with the Steelers. I'm happy you do. Take their fucking money. But don't expect my respect. But just know this, when this year is over and you fail again, you better just shut the fuck up and retire. Because you are washed up. Prove me wrong. And with that, guys, that's the end of the video. Peace. I'm out. Have a good one.